Hey, this is Rick Ruhl from Every Mother's Nightmare. You're listening to the Hotter Than Hell podcast. Crank it up. Crank it up. Everybody goes crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hotter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Hotter Than Hell podcast. I'm Steve, your host, and I'm joined as always by
BC
and
BB.
And behind the keyboards tonight is
Dylan.
And we just want to say hello. We have a cool episode coming up for you guys today. We have an excellent interview with Rick Ruhl and Jim Phipps from the band Every Mother's Nightmare. They have a new album out. It's called Grind. You guys, seriously, pick this album up. We love these guys. It is a great album. If you're familiar with these guys at all, you could definitely tell it's Every Mother's Nightmare, but it's got a kind of a modern twist to it. It's great. BC, what do you think?
Typical strong Every Mother's Nightmare to me. I mean, picked up where they left off with their last album.
Yeah, their new album is fantastic. Grind, probably for me, it's probably one of my favorite albums. A couple live songs on there really capture what a great live band they are. So get out there and pick that up.
Yeah, they put together a great package for that album too. If you buy the album, it's kind of like a slime green, right, BC? Like a vinyl,
like a neon green,
yeah.
I guess you would say.
Very cool. And the CD, it comes with two CDs. It has videos on the one CD, and there's live stuff on there, and it's great. So you guys absolutely check it out, and we're gonna roll that interview right now and go. Okay, hi everybody. We are here this evening with Jim Phipps and Rick Ruhl from Every Mother's Nightmare. How's it going, guys?
Good, man. How's it going?
We really appreciate you guys coming on here. We won't keep you long. Let's get right into it. Let's start at the end and then we'll work our way back. New album Grind came out in October. We love it here on the show. And what's your guys' take on it? How do you guys like it? How do you think it came out?
Oh, man, I love it. It started out as a little experiment just to see if we could put some new school rock and roll with some old, what do you call it, grip it and rip it kind of rock band. And, we started out with Loco Crazy, just seeing if we could work with Justin Reimer and what he thought about us. And it came out beautiful, man, and we're digging it, man. We're winning over a bunch of new fans, and all the old fans are digging it. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, we're really enjoying it too, and actually, you guys have been on mine and BC's and BB's. You guys have been on our bucket list forever to see you guys live. We're here in Pennsylvania, and we never got a chance to see you guys until we saw you guys last year at M3. Was it last year or the year before?
Yeah.
Last year.
At M3, yeah. That was the year before, yeah.
Year before, yeah.
Yeah, they all kind of melt together.
They all melt together after so many years.
So, guys, are you going to do a tour for this album?
Man, we're working on it. They're throwing dates at us right now. We're just we're trying to sift through them. We got a bunch of tentative dates right now. I know we're pretty much booked up until we're all down through Florida through New Year's, and then I think we're running up the East Coast, going up towards Canada. But I have no dates that are actual bang down into concrete yet. But we're definitely going out.
Excellent. Now, when you guys recorded Grind. How different was it recording Grind than it was from your past albums? Because I'm pretty, I would assume that the recording process is much different from when you guys were banging them out in the 90s.
The recording process, back in the day, we would all just pretty much get in a room and bang it out and play it over and over and over until we got close as we could get. Nowadays. When we started doing this, I'd never done the drum tracks first. We did them first, but we were in the same room recording. It's a lot different. It's much cooler because you can kind of dissect the songs and break them down. And we're getting ready to go in and start recording with Jim. He didn't get to do much recording on Grind with us, but he's been banging around and recording with us for years, so it's going to be a new experience for him too. But he'll fall right into place. It'll be good.
What we get in there and we write. I mean, like the first rehearsal I was there for these upcoming shows, we wrote like 2 songs already in the can. We just
first night before he even played anything off grind, we started writing 2. We got 2 songs pretty much more than halfway nailed down. So it's good, man. It's going to be great.
That's great. So you guys, you kind of just really got right back into your into what you guys were used to doing.
Oh yeah.
Our element.
We just had to somebody show us how to do it again.
Getting back on that bike, right? How's your guys? I mean, we obviously saw you guys, and our only complaint is that the set was way too short. And
oh man, yeah.
Because
that was our biggest thing. Everybody was like, they were wanting to hear some old stuff, and of course, we're trying to push the grind record. So, we were just trying to. They gave us 30 or 45 minutes at M3. So we just we threw I think Walls, Love, and Long Hair in there, and then just put the grind record out there and played most of it. But yeah, we definitely wanted to play longer.
Yeah, because when we go to M3, we've gone there every year, myself and BC, and we usually party the night before pretty good, and we usually just kind of miss the first couple bands and hang out in the parking lot.
You can say it. You sleep through the first bands. We usually do too.
But this year, that year, we're like, you know what, we gotta get there. We were up at the, not quite the crack of dawn, but pretty early for us for M3, and it was just awesome to see you guys finally, and hopefully we get to see you guys in a setting where you get to play longer.
Oh yeah. Well, we're definitely coming to Pennsylvania, man. That's the last time we were there. It was like 6 degrees, and we had a really good turnout. So, I'm sure we're going to go back. We're going to try to hit every place we can.
That's great. We will absolutely
Definitely
be there to check you guys out. And off the new album, how many shows have you played since you had Grind out? Have you played it a ton, or are you just kind of getting back into the swing of things?
Well, when we first put it out, it was a 5-song EP when we first started. Before we hooked up with Bill Chavis and Hallowed, we were just kind of filling it out of the trunk and just getting back in. We took like a year off, and then we were just kind of getting back in the swing of things. But yeah, I mean, we played a bunch of festivals the last couple of years, and then it's almost like starting all over now that when it came out here this October, it was just starting all over. We've probably done, just with Jim, I think we've done, 4 or 5 shows with him, and then probably did another 6 or 10 before that. So, yeah, man, we're going to keep just bang it out as much as we can.
How did you guys get with the new record label? How did that come about?
Well, we were playing a show in Houston, Texas, at just a little club. It was like a one-off club one night, and a friend of ours from Kanak, he came down, and he's been a friend of ours. Larry Petro from Kanak, he just been a friend of ours forever, and he just came down and hung out. And when we got done, he called Bill Chavis from Highball and said, "Hey man, have you seen the Nightmares lately?" And Bill's like, "No," and he goes, "Well, you need to check them out." And he contacted me, and I sent him the EP, and like 4 or 5 days later, he called me back and he goes, "Hey man, let's put out a full-length record." And and we were in. We're like, "Yeah, man, let's do it." And so we kind of wanted to do a little throwback on the record. I told him I'd like to throw a couple live songs on there, and we had just played a show with Tora Tora. We did a benefit for their bass player, and it got recorded, and we heard the board tracks off of it, and it sounded good. It was live. It's like we are, and it ain't perfect, but we just figured we'd throw some old songs off the first couple of records on there, and then we threw a couple of videos on there, and then we put like 8 new songs on there. We call it One Stop Shopping with EMN.
Yeah, it's a great package. It really is. It's other bands that are out there now, like huge bands, could really take a page out of your book for how you guys released this album. I mean, it's
man,
great.
There's a lot of people that spend their hard-earned dollars to come out and see us, man. I just figure, let's put the videos that we got on there, and let's just put some live stuff and put some new stuff. And of course, we're always writing. We've got a couple songs ready. We got 3 that are pretty much in the can, ready to be recorded, and we got a couple more. We've started with Jim, so we're ready for. We're already starting on the next one, so got to keep on rolling, baby.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So there's going to be another one.
Oh yes.
Cool.
This is all we know how to do, that and mow grass.
And mowing grass sucks.
Well, yeah. I'd much rather be playing somewhere in grass.
Yeah. Jim, how did you get back into the fold with these guys?
Me and Rick had always kept in touch through the years, and I know the man, our tour guy, Paisan, and I would always just ask questions of what's going on, and I would see on the internet that they had a new record out, and I knew Rick they were really working hard at this new record, and I would see some of the stuff, and I'm like, man, this is like a new twist. The music's good, and it's heavy, and it's it's got like a modern vibe to it, and we just talked, kept talking and all that stuff. And
don't lie, he called me going, "Come on, man, let me back."
So he's still paying in the money back, right?
He had a couple interviews in Nashville he was doing, so he stopped by my house, had a little talk, and kind of worked things out, man. And next week I went down to Memphis and started rehearsals.
That's cool.
We had both of us had he's been doing his thing in Nashville, doing some country stuff and playing with some other bands, and we were just at a spot where we were about to lose a drummer, and we were about to need a drummer, and I popped through Nashville, and I just started kind of fishing a little bit, see what he was doing, and he was like, "Man, I ain't doing nothing." And I was like, "Well, come on, man, let's go."
Let's go.
It's all about timing.
So who are the 2 new guys that are in the band now?
The 2 new guys, we got John Gunnery on guitar, lead guitar, and then Mr. Travis Butler on other lead guitar, and then we got old faithful Troy Fleming on the bass back there, thumping the low.
Nice. So are they like Nashville, Memphis guys? Where did you cross paths with those guys to get them on board?
Actually, me and Jim, we got Troy. Troy's probably been playing with us for going on 21 years, probably.
Yeah,
at least, yeah.
But when we took our little break, we had the other 2 guitar players were pursuing family life and doing their other deals. So just started looking around. I played a side project with John Gunnery for. I had a little side project that I was doing, and he was playing guitar with us. And man, I just love the way he plays because he kind of comes at everything at left field, and I just got in touch with him, and then Paisan, our tour guy, he hooked us up with Travis Butler, and he just fell into place. He came to practice every day and learned the stuff, and we kick his butt every day, but it just fit. It's hard to find a chemistry with 5 guys. It's very hard to find. Everybody's head in the right spot, so we kind of lucked out, but it's a good thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it definitely sounds good on the money. We talk about you guys are 2 original guys. What about Steve and Mark? Do they still play music, or?
I don't know. Steve, I think he still plays. I think he's playing in a cover band in St. Louis. I'm not real sure, but when people usually leave, I usually lose track of them because I gotta keep. This is what I do. So unless Mark come and seen us play in Atlanta last time we were down through there, and we're all still good. It's just we got a record deal. Them guys were fresh. They went right out of high school into a recording studio. So they were pretty much burned on it. So, but me and Jim are glutton for punishment.
Still, bring it.
Now that we're talking about the back in the day, we'll go back to the beginning now. How did you guys get together, and how quick? You guys had a record contract pretty quick, didn't you?
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh yeah.
Me, what it was, I was playing in a rival band from Knoxville called Hard Knocks, and Jim was playing in a band in Nashville, and I think I got fired or whatever. I got fired out of my band, and like a couple of days later, Jim and them were up at my house in Knoxville, and he brought me to Nashville, and we started firing people out of his band, and we just kind of, put it together what we wanted, and here we are.
You're out and we're in. Yeah. So once you guys got together, it did come together quick, and you guys were out of the box pretty quick, and your self-titled album is, and you guys, like you said, you're still busting that stuff out today, and it still holds up.
Yeah.
Man, it was raw. I mean, our biggest thing we did 13 shows, and we had a record deal with Arista, and our whole. I don't mean to keep talking, Jim, but
No, go ahead, man.
We just we knew we wanted a record deal. We didn't know really what to do with a record deal, but we knew we wanted one, and so we did 13 shows. Clive Davis came and saw us, and threw us in the studio, and we do everything backwards. We had to kind of learn the craft of recording and the writing and all that stuff as we've been kicking around. So, but it's all good.
Sounds like our podcast.
Yeah, that has to be pretty amazing. Clyde Davis, how he picked you up. Like, he was mainly more of a pop guy with like Whitney Houston and that, right?
Yeah, he's signed a lot of pretty serious people though. He's been involved with I think he was involved with Janis Joplin and Aerosmith and just a lot of people down the road.
That's pretty good company.
And that was kind of one of the reasons we went with Arista, because we were talking with Jason Flom from Atlantic, and they had 100 bands, and Giffen had 100 bands, and Arista didn't have any bands, and I was like, that's where we need to go.
Right.
They can focus on you guys more.
Yeah.
Now, I want to tell you guys, we did a podcast early on in our shows. I mean, we only have like 20-some shows, but we did a sophomore, like no album sophomore slump kind of thing. We each picked 10 albums that were awesome sophomore albums, and your guys
Wake Up Screaming.
Wake Up Screaming. I'm sorry. Was
Screaming. Yeah,
that was my pick. That album is just amazing. That's one of my go-to albums that I could just throw that on anytime and just rock the hell out of it.
Well, that's one of the reasons we threw Closet Down the Hall on this record, because it was that was one of our favorites off the second record, and music was changing right when our second record came out. It was going to grunge and more gut music. So the good record.
Okay, so right after what happened after that came out, and there's some videos, and it just, like you said, music was changing. What happened to the band at that time? Because it seemed like you kind of went off the map until you got back in 2000.
Well, I think me and Jim, I think we probably wrote a whole record of material, and we were sending it back and forth to Arista. But by the time we were doing that, all the people that Arista that we signed with were gone. So we were just we were sending songs to deaf ears, and the only thing we were getting back was "There's Not a Love Can Make You Blind." And the battle was, we were just like I said, music was changing to grunge and everything, and "Love Can Make You Blind" was no more. It was more Alice in Chains and like I said, gut rock. And we just quit sending songs after we sent them about 10 songs, and there wasn't. All they kept saying was they didn't hear another "Love Can Make You Blind." We was just like, well, we're not getting nowhere here. So
we did that for 6 months. We'd go in the studio, send a batch, go in the studio, send a batch.
Yeah,
they weren't getting it.
So the record companies, they wanted like a ballad.
And playing and doing our thing until, time rolled around, and, we ran into Tom from Paris Records, and we had already had Smoke and Delta Voodoo recorded probably 2 years in advance, and handed it to him, and he put it out.
I love that one.
which is another great album. That album is very, I don't know if you want to call it atmospheric. It seems to have like a common vibe all the way through the album.
Well, it has a vibe. If you notice, the old cover was aluminum foil, so
Yes.
I'm not going to say anything more than that. Actually, what we're going to do after this grind record, in between the grind record and the new record, we're in the process right now of remastering Smoking Delta Voodoo. We're going to put some new pictures in it and a new cover, and we're going to re-release that after this grind thing runs its course.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
There's a bunch of good songs on there. That was probably our best writing spurt, I guess.
Yeah, I
we
like
went
that.
through a lot of living right through there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So if you're gonna re-release Smoking Delta Voodoo, what color's the vinyl gonna be? Because BC's a big vinyl guy. He just ordered the funky mint green one.
The neon
green one.
The neon green one,
yeah.
baby.
I said it's
That's
green.
what I
I gotta
want.
have one for my wall. I don't know. I don't know if they got aluminum full covered record.
That'd be different.
Yeah. Hey, stand out in the crowd.
Maybe we'll just go for silver or something.
Yeah, there you go.
And you can have the middle part be foil.
There you go.
Now, right after that, you guys recorded Deeper Shade of Grey, which is another great album, and it just sucks that seems like you guys are one of those bands that just got caught in the switches when the grunge was coming out and everything. But you guys were pretty consistent in the early 2000s, and you did Deeper Shade of Grey, but then you did Live Songs from Nowhere. And one thing I was wondering about that is, how come there isn't really anything from Wake Up Screaming on that album?
You know what? I really don't know. I think it was just a circumstance of the times. We were just, we were kind of just bobbing and weaving there, just trying to, stay alive, and the live that live album just kind of that was right when Jim came back to the band the second time. And, we were just was it the second time? Anyway,
Yeah.
he just came back to the band, and we just fell into a spot where we could do it, and I got a bunch of new recording gear, so we just started recording shows and songs. And,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We just recorded every sound.
I don't know. I don't know why there was nothing off that record. That's kind of weird. I never thought of that.
I didn't know if it was a record company thing with rights or something like that, or if it was just something weird like that.
No, but I'll have to make sure we get it on the next one.
Oh, definitely, absolutely.
Who thought of the name Every Mother's Nightmare?
I think that was I think it was our old manager, Doc Fields. We had just put the band together, and we were playing our first weekend run, and I think we were all in his office, and he was like, "Man, y'all are Every Mother's Nightmare," and we were like, "Well, that's what we're going to use for this weekend. We'll just use it for this weekend and this weekend only, and we'll come up with something else." And that was what, 15 or 20 years ago.
Yep.
Nice, that's funny. Here's another one I heard. Love Can Make You Blind. Is that about masturbation?
Could be.
Could be.
Isn't everything?
Well, yeah, true.
When it comes down to it,
What do you guys do in your off time, or do you have any off time?
Oh, shoot, we have off time. Man, I think we just usually try to get together and write, or we like today we did a good thing. We got on our phones and started picking on each other until somebody got mad.
Sounds like us.
That's usually what's the funnest.
and you go to
We
Rock
actually
and
just got home last night. We were out on the road with Tora, and so. But I mean, even when we're home, we're writing. We're going 100 miles an hour.
Cool.
Wow.
That's great. Yeah, you guys just played a show in just outside of Memphis with those guys in Roxy Blue and Brett Michaels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that. When was that? That was October 28th.
Yeah.
8, yeah.
Yeah, we were.
And then we played the 18th with Tora in what was that, Kansas City, Phipps?
Yeah, Kansas City, Missouri.
how's the reception, you guys, back out there?
Awesome.
It's great, man. It was packed the other night. We just played with Kicks in Detroit a couple of weeks ago, and that was everywhere we've been. The old fans have been there, a bunch of new fans. It's real surprising, and it's real gratifying to see just people come out and go, I remember that "Love Can Make You Blind" song, but everybody's buying the new record, and the feedback's awesome, and the crowds are awesome, man. It was just like the other night was, I didn't think there was going to be 10 people there. It was cold as hell, and come up on stage, and the place was standing room only. So good thing.
Cool.
That's awesome. How long of a set are you guys able to play when you guys do those double shows with Tora Tora?
Oh man, I think the other night we were probably doing what, Jim? An hour 15.
Yeah, hour 15 minutes, 75 minutes.
We've been known to do 2 hour and 45-minute sets, especially on nights when we're by ourselves, and it's, you get in the mood and things are clicking and things are going, and the crowd's having fun. We'll play as long as we can.
That's what we're hoping for. A show like that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. How
did
you
the front, we'll do it.
How did you guys get hooked up to play M3? Did somebody approach you, or did your management approach somebody?
I think it was through one of the booking agents had got in touch with us, because we've been trying to get on that, and we've been trying to get on the Monsters of Rock cruise. And
I was just going to say,
they said we got a slot for you. It's real early in the morning, but if y'all want it, you're welcome to it. And we said, man, we'll take it. And I think we're going back to the next one, because that's a cool thing. And M3 Festival's a rock. That's a beautiful thing.
That's a great time there. And I got to tell you guys, I just came back from the KISS cruise a couple weeks ago, and every year they put out a survey. What you like about the cruise, this and that, and they always have a bunch of different bands on there. And I went with my wife this year and my buddies, and I'm having everybody put your guys' name down, because you get to suggest bands to go on the KISS cruise for next year.
Right.
And you guys, the years that I've gone, you guys have always been the first band that I put down there. So if
cool.
if Gene Simmons gives you a call,
they did a poll somewhere on Facebook a couple of months ago, and we were like number 1 or number 2 trying to get on there, but somebody will surely let us sooner or later.
Yeah, you guys would be absolutely perfect for that cruise. It would just be unbelievable.
So you're in the running for M3 again. Is what you're saying.
Did you have fun, right? You had fun on the cruise?
Oh, my God, it was amazing. It was just incredible. and I tell everybody, I don't even think KISS is even the best part of the cruise. I think it's just the whole package with all the bands and all the people and just everything. It's just a good time.
Everybody get to hang out and mingle and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, very cool. See, that's what I like.
That's very cool.
Yep.
And drink.
Yeah,
and we try to every night after we get off stage. We usually go to our merch booth and just hang out and try to talk to as many people as we can, because, like I said, they spend their dollar to come and see us, so we try to hang out and be as accessible as possible.
Yeah, you guys, because they have a merch store in the boat, and all the other bands have their stuff out there, and
cool.
You're walking around. Enough's Enough played last year, and Chips Enough is walking around, talking to people and the guys from Dead Daisies and everything. So everyone's pretty much just kind of walking around and hanging out, and there's not too much of a problem with people going crazy, like fanboy kind of shit. But it's pretty casual hangout atmosphere.
I think they're worried about us going crazy more than anybody else. We can't calm the Nightmare guys down. They're crazy.
They're not called Every Mother's Nightmare for no reason, right?
That's right.
So is your current set list you're playing, is it heavy towards the grind album, or do you have a good mixture? Because I realize you have to play the hits.
We do, the first, I think we do the first song is probably Push. It's off of Smoking Delta Voodoo.
Love it.
And then we do a grind song, and then we hit Walls, and then we kind of just do a couple off the first record. And then, of course, like we do 1 or 2 off, we are doing 1 or 2 off of the Wake Up Screaming. And then we got a couple in there off of, I think we got a little bit off of everything.
Oh, wow.
Now, you guys don't play the same set every night.
We probably got, it's probably, I would say 70% grind, and the rest is we'll usually stop. We'll do Love and Long Hair, and then we'll probably come back out and play 2 or 3 more. And that could be anything from Leonard Skinner to whatever.
All right.
Right. Now, please tell me you guys play Upper Hand live.
Yes, we do.
All right. That song's just amazing. That's totally my favorite song on the album. I love it.
Good morning, congregation. This is
I love
Reverend
that.
Ruhl.
See you next Sunday.
See you next Sunday.
That's
This
great.
guy asked me one night, he goes, "Are you really a reverend?" And I said, "No, but that's when I get up there and start bitching. That's what Jim and them told me." They just said, "Here he goes."
Don't stop him.
Let
He's
him
on a
go.
roll.
Let him do his thing, man.
It's
Let
best
go.
to just let him finish, Clark. He's got a little
Let
Mississippi
him-
leg down in him,
Guys, whose idea was it to put the 3 songs, the 3 songs for our fans out there that are listening to their Closet Down the Hall, Walls Come Down and Push? Whose idea was it to put those live songs on the album? Because they really capture how great of a kick-ass live band you are.
Man, I'll have to say that was mine. That was mine because, like I said, we recorded the first 5 songs, and we had 3 more ready to record. And I just wanted to put something because every time we play, people want to hear the old stuff and this and that. And I said, well, let's just put three old songs off 3 of the other records on there live, and we just kind of lucked out because it got recorded live and it sounded decent. So, we just I figured it would be a cool thing because a lot of people bought those records and a lot of people come to see us play it. So I just figured I'd show the way we're doing it now and just put it out there and see what happens. And our little push, we did that little push video. We see that on YouTube, and that thing's about to break 100,000 views. So, it's just it's live, and that's what we are. We're a live rock and roll band.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's great, and I gotta say I really like Blown Away also, and the video for that is very cool. It really shows your guys, I think, sense of fun, hanging out with people and stuff, and playing and everything. I think it came out really great.
Hey, man, the best idea we had about we were shooting that whole video thing. A buddy of ours was shooting it for us, and we were. It was during sound check during a thing called Beaver Fest of all things.
All right.
All right.
It was during the day during sound check, and there was nobody there, and I was like, man, let's shoot it right now. And so we just played the song a couple of times, and ran it through the monitor system, and man, it just anything we do like that, if we just do it spontaneous, it works. If we tried to draw it all out and make it a big movie, it would have been terrible.
Rick, where the hell is Beaverfest?
Beaverfest. Well, it's somewhere. I'm going to say it's somewhere in cheese country, and that's all I can say because I'm not for sure where it was, but I'm glad I went.
Sounds like a good time.
It was Wisconsin, but I had a good time because my buddy Jamie St. James from Black and Blue was singing, and he was doing sort of like a cover thing, but he had it was all-star players, and it was pretty cool. We've known him from way back in the day, so it was a good thing.
Cool. Talk about way back in the day when you guys toured. Who was one of your favorite people to tour with?
Wow. I would have to say my favorite touring band I played with was probably Circus of Power, just because they were badass.
Cool.
And
yeah, they were badass.
But I guess my all-time favorite band we ever played with was probably Cheap Trick, because them guys have done it all. They've been everywhere, seen it all.
Still doing it.
And still doing it. And they gave us stage and gave us PA and lights and told us to do our thing, and that was very cool of them guys, and much respect to them guys because they're like I said, they've been doing this a long time.
Long time, yes.
Yeah, they're a band that can play anything from their catalog, which is
dude,
amazing
yeah,
in
they're
itself.
incredible.
Yeah, back in the day, there was a rumor you guys toured with Dream Theater.
We did a show with them in our hometown. It's probably our biggest show we had played at that point. We played at Starwood Amphitheater in Nashville, and they were on the bill. It was us and them, and it was a clash of bands. That's what it was, because them guys were incredible too.
I was going to say, that's a little odd pair in there. Not in a bad way.
Them guys probably forgot more about music than we knew.
Cool.
Yeah, those guys are cool. It's got to be just amazing, just for you guys, just to be back in the swing of things, and it's great for us. So I can only imagine what it's like for you, just getting up in front of people and just seeing people sing your songs back to you. That alone has just got to be incredible.
Oh yeah. Well, see, the other night, Kansas City, man, we got down to "Love Can Make You Blind," and the whole crowd in this place, they sang it. I just held the mic out and let them do it, man.
Yeah, that was cool.
And that was very, that's very flattering for us, that was just a little old song that we wrote in our warehouse that we were practicing in, and it touched a lot of people, and that's cool in my book.
That's awesome. Yeah. What do you enjoy singing the most live?
The Budweiser Blues.
Okay.
I think right now my favorite thing is, God, that's a hard one. We got a song called "Days Are Through" that's on the new record that I'm having a lot of fun singing right now. "Blown Away" is fun to play live, and "Closet Down the Hall" I think that's everybody right now in the band's favorite thing to play live, because it's just got that little old Memphis punch groove to it, and it gets the heads bobbing, and that's a good thing when you look out and see a couple of hundred people bobbing their head. That's a beautiful thing.
That's gonna be cool.
Hey Jim, who are your drumming influences growing up?
Oh wow, man, a bunch. I used to like a lot of heavy metal, and Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden, and Stephen Kaufman from Accept, John Bonham, Alex Van Halen. Those guys, they hit the shit out of their drums.
Oh yeah.
Bonham got that foot.
Bonham, he had that kick drum, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. We just one of the bands we saw on the Kiss cruise was a Led Zeppelin tribute band, and the guy that played the drums for them he just beat the living shit out of his drums. It was crazy. If you close your eyes, you can hear John Bonham there. The guy was just insane. It's just really cool to hear that's when your influences. And it's weird because your guys' music, I don't even know what I would call it. You guys are. What kind of band do you guys think you are? You're definitely not like a metal band. You're hard rock, but there's something.
I think we're just a rock band. We just like, we like everything. We listen to the music we listen to is so crazy different. But just rock and roll. Good music is good music, no matter what it is. So, But I would just say we're just a rock band who likes to drink beer.
I like it.
That's one of the reasons why we love you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Rick, what's your influences growing up?
My influences, everything from my first concert I ever saw was my mom took me to see Alice Cooper, "Welcome to My Nightmare," and that pretty much
Sealed your fate.
Pretty much sold me on the whole the live show thing. But I grew up around Charlie Daniels and Wet Willie, Marshall Tucker, to Kiss, Van Halen, all the normal stuff.
Okay, you guys, we won't keep you guys any longer. Just a couple more quick things here. Plug your stuff, guys. Let everybody know where you can find everything. And I wish we could announce some shows, but you said they're in the works. But just let everybody know out there.
I will tell Bill Chavis as soon as they get down, a couple of dates get down, I will get him to bounce them to you guys. And like I said, I wish I had more to tell him too. But if you want to find anything, you can get it anywhere that you can download music or buy music, Amazon, anywhere. You can go to High Vol Records of Bill Chavis, and you can get them there, or you can go to our website, which is emnrocks.com, or you can go to our Facebook page, which is EMN Band, and you can find out any information and where we're going and what we're doing and how much trouble we've been in right there.
That's great. And we, on this show, we encourage people to get out there and actually buy the music. We're big fans of the physical copy. BC's a big vinyl guy.
Sir.
I do the CDs.
Well, we carry a big pile of physical records every time we go out and play because that's the number one thing of the night. If somebody wants a T-shirt and they want a hard record that we can sign and they can look through and see all the dirty, filthy pictures.
That's awesome. I want to thank you guys for coming on the show with us.
Thanks for having us.
Guys, that was awesome for those guys to come on the show, taking time out of their busy schedules. They're setting up tour dates and everything. And what'd you guys think, BB?
Yeah, really great guys. It's too bad they came out the wrong time. Their first album came out in 1990. They just came out the wrong time. But really can't wait to see them hit the road. Hopefully they hit Pennsylvania like they said. Like Steve said in the interview, it's it was our bucket list until M3. These guys saw them, I did not, so they are still on my bucket list. But yeah, thank you guys for spending some time with us.
Yeah, Rick is a great guy. We met him in Nashville.
Real cool.
Funny, down-to-earth guy. Will bullshit with you like you've been friends forever. And it's great to see Jim back in the band. I'm always a fan of the Ritual guys coming
absolutely.
together.
But the other guys they have in the band now
are phenomenal.
They're just great. And like we said when we talked about in the interview, the only bad thing about seeing them live was they were the first band of the day. It was probably a 25-minute set, maybe.
Half hour at most.
And, but that shows how much we like these guys, because if you guys know how hard we party at M3, it's kind of difficult for us to get up that early to get to see the first band of the day.
And not tailgate in the parking lot. We went in early because they started, 11:30?
Yeah.
It was early.
And that's we're usually deep into partying by then, but we definitely wanted to check those guys out. And you guys seriously get out there, support these guys. And when they come out to play live anywhere you are, if you hear that they're going to play, go see them. You will not be sorry. And when you listen to Rick on the interview here, you listen to their music, you could absolutely tell that he's their singer. He just has that distinctive voice. And like BC said, we met him down in Nashville. Really super down-to-earth guy. He stood there and bullshitted with us for a couple minutes. We have a picture taken with them. We're going to post that on the Facebook page. But you guys get out there and support these guys. Any last words on EMN there, BB?
No, just like I said, really can't wait to see them hopefully hit Pennsylvania and get to see those guys, because they are one awesome live band.
Again, yes, get out there, buy the record or buy the CD. And if you like vinyl, get the glow in the dark green. And go see the live shows. These guys are they're just playing their hearts out every night. Support it.
Absolutely. And you guys, once again, thanks for coming on the podcast. And as I promised several shows ago, that Iron Maiden was having a new beer out called Hallowed. It has finally arrived. Yesterday was Sunday, and I decided to go on a little mission to look for the new Hallowed beer. And I found it, lo and behold. If you're familiar with the Iron Maiden beers, they're usually probably 20-ounce bottles or cans.
20 or 22.
Yeah. So I go in the store. I had seen a picture of the bottle before. I wasn't really sure I hadn't seen it in a while since I saw the ad for it in the beginning. So I walk in and I look at their cooler. I don't see it. So I'm kind of wandering around. The guy asked me, he says, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm looking for the new Iron Maiden beer." He goes, "Holy shit." He goes, "I was just talking to a guy about this beer last night." He goes, "How many do you want?" I said, "I just need to get like 4 or 5. I said, "Because we have a podcast and we're going to do a taste test down there." He goes, "Oh, that's really cool." So he had a couple behind the counter, and then he had a couple cold ones in the thing. And I walked right by it. I looked right at it, but I didn't realize it was, because it's a smaller bottle. They're 11.2 ounces compared to the other Iron Maiden beers that are, what are they?
20?
20 ounces, so it's significantly smaller. And however, the price is not significantly smaller. They were $4.50 a bottle, but we promised that we'd try it, and we're kind of anxious to try it because we really enjoyed the Trooper. I can't speak for anybody else on this, but the black and red,
the red
and the black, I always goof that up. The red and the black, I didn't care for it too much. And the 666 one, I couldn't even finish because it made me want to throw up. I just didn't like the taste of it at all. So we're gonna taste test this on the air here right now. And BB, talk a little bit while I'm pouring these out.
All right. Well, let's see here.
Pretty dark.
Pretty dark. We got a 6.8% alcohol by volume.
No, it's 6%. That's a 0 after the 6.
Oh, okay. Well, it was close. If I need my glasses. Yeah, like Steve said, 11.2 fluid ounce bottle. So
it's like a little pony bottle.
Yeah, so they're jipping you out of 0.8 fluid ounces.
Well, that's so if you don't like it, it'll hurt less if you throw the bottle at them.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but the bottles are cool. You got to keep the bottles.
Yeah.
And it's made by the Robinson's Brewery out of England.
Yeah, and the bottle caps have on different versions of Eddie
from the Legacy.
The Legacy of the Beast app.
So I wonder if you get the case, are they all different bottle caps?
I looked and there were only four different bottle caps in the thing, but there was only like I think 7 bottles left out of the case, so there could be more. All right, let's try this bad boy. Cheers,
boys. Cheers.
I don't think Dylan's gonna like this.
No, probably not.
Love it.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
This
way better than the red and the black.
I'm gonna say this may be a hair bit better than the Trooper.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the Troopers. The Trooper's got a little smoky taste to it.
It's not as
crisp.
Right. It's more of a clean.
Yeah. According to the back, it's still charged with. Well, it's got Trooper DNA running through its veins, still charged with flavor, and with crystal rye giving Hallowed a blood red hue and a smooth, dry finish. This is one of Maiden vocalist Bruce Dickinson's finest brews yet. I've always loved Belgian beer, but I wanted to make sure that we put a British twist on our brew. I think we have created something unique. The Belgian-style yeast combines with noble hops to deliver a complex palate of subtle banana with a plum finish.
Oh.
Enjoy cold.
Here, BC, you like the slam stuff, so there you go.
You could have your subtle banana with a plum finish.
I definitely taste a hint of plum in it.
Do you? You want some more, Dylan?
No, I'm okay.
I'm okay.
If Iron Maiden comes out with a cider, Dylan will be buying.
Oh, absolutely. I'll spearhead that one.
Yeah, so guys, it's good. It got 3 out of 4 thumbs up here.
I didn't hate it.
He didn't hate it. Okay, which for Dylan is good.
We'll give it 3.5 thumbs.
If I was given it, I would choke it down.
Okay, it's a pretty dark beer. It's a pretty dark beer, but it doesn't have that really hoppy taste to it.
No, not at all.
That's why I don't hate it.
For all you craft beer connoisseurs out there, it's good. Give it a shot. It's a little on the expensive side for an 11.2 ounce bottle, but the bottle is cool and collectible, and so are the caps.
It has the price of a cider, at least.
That's true. That's true. And we'll post a picture of the bottle, the front and the back. It's actually the label's embossed on there, so it's actually pretty cool.
It is cool.
And it's got Eddie on there. Is that a noose?
Yep, that's a noose.
Got a noose there.
Well, because hell would be that name.
That's right.
It's about the.
I don't know these days if you're
execution of a
allowed
man.
to actually make a noose or show one, but Iron Maiden, they're breaking the rules here.
It's got the same pose as the Trooper Eddie, but in a.
It does.
In like an executioner's garb.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
It's like Monk Eddie on there.
Eddie the Monk.
All right, so we'll give it 4 thumbs up here on the Potter Than Hell podcast. That's our taste test, and maybe we'll bring in even though it's been out for a while, maybe we'll do the Megadeth beer on here.
Because I still have that at the house.
Okay, I still have one at the house.
Was that a Tulamond?
Yeah, very good. We'll taste test that in the next couple episodes.
And we'll get Motorhead wine and.
See, we'll get it all. Y&T wine.
Is there Y&T wine?
Yeah.
Yes, there's.
What's it called?
I think they just last
Summertime.
name?
Is it Mean Streak?
No, it's what's his name? The
Black Tiger? Dave Manichetti?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's Manic. I think they just call it
I
Manichetti.
think it's called Manichetti.
They have to be like Iron Maiden.
Well, that's
They
not
have to
really
make
Y&T then.
They have to make it
It's just
interesting.
him. It's a solo project.
Solo project.
All right. There it
Very
is.
cool. Thank you,
now,
Righty.
Now that we did that, cheers, everybody. We will definitely finish these beers up as we talk. And right now, we're going to jump right into our hidden gems for the episode. And we're going to start out with Dylan today.
Okay. So my hidden gem is an album that came out in 2009 featuring one of my favorite members of a band. And he's actually still with the band, unlike some of the other people in the so-called reunion. It's Duff McKagan's Loaded. The album is sick. It's a great album. He recorded it after Velvet Revolver broke up because Scott Weiland left, and then he died. But the album, I don't know how I ended up listening to it. I think I was drawn to the Duff McKagan name because I was heavily into my bass playing, and I was just looking for some new music. And Duff McKagan, of course, being the amazing bassist of Guns N' Roses. The album's really, really good. The title track is awesome. Sleaze Factory is a really cool song. It's honestly pretty good from front to back. He came out with another one after in 2011 called The Taking that I don't think is quite as good, but definitely Sick is a pretty good album for a solo project. I mean, it's not as successful as Slash's solo albums, but I think it's still a pretty good.
It's decent.
Yeah.
It's decent. We'll definitely post something from that.
Yeah, so that's my pick. Duff McKagan's Loaded, the album's sick.
Cool. B.
All right. This week I have a song. It's called "Clean My Wounds" by Corrosion of Conformity. The first time we heard this, we actually we were at a KISS convention, and it was on a unreleased
Like a
compilation tape of unsigned bands. And I was going through some stuff in the attic. I'm like, oh, wow, look at this tape. And I had to dig out the tape player to listen to it. And that was the first song on there. And then it kind of died off, and it just kind of ate it. But and it just it reminded me of what a great song it was. And I had to go and download the album and put it in my collection. So it's Clean My Wounds by Corrosion of Conformity. It was released back in 1994.
All right. BC, who you got this week, buddy?
I'm gonna stick with 1994, and we just had
you can't do two from the same year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, BC.
I'll allow it. Go ahead.
And since we're drinking some Iron Maiden beer, I'm gonna go with the solo song from Bruce Dickinson, "Laughing in the Hiding Bush." To me, it's just a very hard song for Bruce. I think. Not I don't mean hard song for play, but
Hard song to sing?
no, nothing's hard for Bruce to sing. But, it's a very straightforward hard rock, which
It is. It's definitely not an Iron Maiden.
Definitely
song.
different. Yes.
it's different from what Iron Maiden put out, which is what you want to hear. You don't want to hear like a solo album that's just like the band it came from.
You don't want to hear like a Jeff Tate solo album.
Whoa. Don't use names.
You guys are gonna have to find that out for yourself. Okay, I'm gonna actually stick in. You guys, we have no idea what anybody's gonna pick before we show up here, and I also picked a Bruce Dickinson song. It's
It's Laughing in the Hiding Bush.
It is not. When BC said Bruce Dickinson, I'm like, if you pick the same fucking song I do, I'm gonna be pissed. But it did not. And actually, it's a song that I never heard before, and it's on the Best of Bruce Dickinson, the expanded version, and it's a song called Silver Wings, and it is like a really hard rockin' tune. Have you guys ever heard that song?
I didn't.
No.
I have.
And actually, I didn't discover it until maybe a year ago, and it's been out for a long time. And I was just had the Bruce Dickinson. I was just playing a mix of it, and it was one of them songs where you're just kind of walking around, and it like boom, it catches your ear, and you're like, holy shit, what is this? And then you go back and play it. So check it out. It's, Silver Wings, Bruce Dickinson. It's on the Best of Bruce Dickinson. It's on the expanded version. I don't believe it's on just the regular version, because I think the regular version may be one disc. Correct me if I'm wrong. I probably am. But that's my pick. So we got Duff McKagan's Loaded album from Dylan. We have Corrosion of Conformity, Clean My Wounds from BB. We got Laughing in the Hiding Bush from Bruce. And we have Silver Wings from Bruce Dickinson from myself.
It's always about flying with Bruce.
And we he does a lot of flying shit. And we're drinking Bruce's beer. So I think the Iron Maiden beers, I think it's more of a Bruce thing than a band thing.
Oh, definitely.
because he's seems to be the one that's
The only
involved.
guy
And
behind it.
actually, I just got done reading his book, which if you guys want to pick that up out there, it's called "What Does This Button Do?" It's Bruce Dickinson's autobiography, and it's a decent book, but it's rather vague on a lot of stuff. And at the end, he puts a disclaimer that he didn't write about having children or girlfriends or relationships or anything like that went on with him or even anybody in the band or anything. So it's kind of vague on the ultra personal side, but the book is really cool. Dylan was saying about the flying. It does have a lot of flying stuff in there about he purchased a World War One fighter plane that is the one that the Red Baron is associated with, the triplane with the three wings on it. He purchased one of those with another guy, and how he became pilot as like a regular pilot, and then he went to bigger planes, and he's finally like a qualified 747 pilot, which is Ed Force One now, I believe, for this latest tour. So it goes through a lot of cool stuff like that. There are some cool stuff about him recording with his solo stuff and how we got into Iron Maiden, and there is a lot of cool stuff like that. But I want that more personal stuff to hear, because you're reading this book and you're going through well, does he even ever have a girlfriend or wife, or you don't hear anything like that. If you didn't want to talk about it, that's one thing, but at least mention that, I think you mentioned a girlfriend once or twice or something. But
I think you're the first person to be disappointed that he wasn't stopping talking about the music. It's like, I want to get into the relationships.
No, not the relationships, but there's not a lot of personal stuff there. You know what I mean? There's just I don't believe me. I don't want to read about all that kind of shit, but it just seems weird that there's none of that in there, because usually every book has something in there like that, but there's nothing at all. And I was wondering that when I got done with it, I'm like, And when you do get finished reading that book, you're thinking something's missing from this book, and then you read the disclaimer. It's after the last page, and you're like, that's what's missing from the book, and he lays it right out for you. Which, hey, it's his book. You don't want to talk about that shit. You don't want to talk about it. But that's just my take on it. And have you read it, Dylan, yet?
I'm still sifting through it, but it's a very British book. There's a lot of some things that are lost in
lingo that you kind of have to decipher.
There's a lot lost in translation, I think, as American readers. But I think it's really well written. I was listening to the audiobook version, and Bruce is a great narrator. He really brings some life to the story and sets the mood. And like anybody that listens to Maiden knows, he's a good storyteller. He can weave a tale and get you in this foggy place and really set the scene. And I think he really showcases that with this book.
All right, awesome. Anything else on the Maiden situation, guys? What do you got, BB?
I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Big Lou Reynolds. He stopped me the other day and he gave me this Iron Maiden comic book. It's from the Heavy Metal Comics. It's comic book 1 out of 5, so I'm going to assume there's going to be 4 more. It's called Legacy of the Beast. Dylan, it's about it seems like it's after the
video game.
The video game.
It's based on the app that was just released, I think, either this summer or last summer. And it basically features Eddie going on this journey to find some stuff. The clairvoyant from the song, and Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, right? Guides him along the way. And the app is basically, you could play as the different versions of Eddie, throughout all the album covers and stuff like that, and do an RPG battle with some of the characters that you meet in the albums. The Prisoner is a character, I think, from that amazing song off Number of the Beast.
The Wicker Man's one of them.
The Wicker Man is a Child of the Damned. So it's very faithful to some Maiden lore, and it's a cool little thing. So I'm glad they made a comic of it.
Yeah, he said there's 3 different collectible covers. So if you guys are comic book fans out there, it's something you can pick up and check out. He said it wasn't expensive. I think he said it was $3.99.
Oh, that's not bad.
So
That's cheap for a comic.
yeah, for a comic book, that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
But boy, we got the beer, we have the comic books. These seem like they're going down the road of some other band we know.
Oh, Megadeth. Yeah. Megadeth.
Megadeth.
Okay. We won't say who. Okay.
No.
Even though we know it's Kiss.
We almost went a whole episode.
No, we didn't, because Rick Ruhl mentioned Kiss in his interview.
Oh,
Listen to it.
Yeah,
he did.
He did.
So
he
there
did
you go.
But I was proud of you. I thought you were going to go. I thought you were going to go the distance.
I didn't go down the road. No, I
That's
didn't.
why I set
can't
him
go
up.
the
I
distance. Can't go
had a
the
nice
distance.
setup for him. I
So you
wanted
can-
to see him spike it home.
You can blame BB for that. You can blame BB for that.
Oh,
And
so close.
Yeah, and while we're blaming BB for that, BB's going to start out with our thank yous.
All right. First off, I want to thank Bill Chavez. He is the producer of the Every Mother's Nightmare. He's from the High Volume Music. Bill, thank you for setting us up with Rick and Jim. Contacting me through Facebook. We really appreciate it. Also, we have Kristen Apostolico, my cousin Jim Kaufman, Adam Cox, Glenn Palmer, a great band Hit and Run, Cindy Russick, Pat Bass, R.A. Feroci, Jim Polkowski, Aaron Mantell, Craig Cornell, Jeff Keith, and Trevor McDougall.
All right, I got a couple here. I'm going to thank my wife, Corey, for putting up with us for all this shit. Dylan for doing an awesome job behind the keyboard. Mark Satorka, that you hear all the music from this show. Dakota Denman, that we did an interview with a couple weeks ago. Our buddies from the Growing Up Rock podcast, Sonny Pooney and Stephen Michael. Keith Valcourt, that I met on the Kiss Cruise. He is the guy that did the Gene Simmons Vault with Gene. I have an interview with him coming up. Dylan's going to have to do some crazy editing on that because it was in an extremely loud place where I did the interview. But it was a very cool, short interview. Real nice, super nice guy. Brian Cramp from the Rock and or Roll podcast. He did a small segment with me for his podcast, and we'll let you guys know when that's up. It's going to be pretty embarrassing for me once you guys listen to that. So just tune in for that. We'll let you know when it's out. David Hudson and Chris Craig from the Digital Killed the Radio Star podcast. Ken Keenan, Mark Anthony Kay, Marie Zaccone, Kaylin Provo, Gene Grossman, Vincenzo Ianello, Jared Grealish, Thorjorn Olsen, which is one of our guys that comments and shares our stuff, Joe Mangieri, Jen Roberts-Vena, and Ed Spangenberg. And we want to thank you guys out there for listening to us, and share us out there. Get on iTunes, give us a 5-star review, because that helps us put our podcast out there more, and it gets us out there to more peoples and everything. Peoples, listen to me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wonderful.
And so do that, you guys. Get out there, listen to us, share us, interact with us on Facebook, share our episodes, check us out. Tell your friends about us, and if you guys have any ideas for shows you want us to talk about, and let us know, and maybe we'll even get you on the show here. And we're gonna do a little last words here. BC, what else you got to say? Anything else?
I like this beer.
BC likes the beer. BB.
Just a great episode. I never thought I'd get to talk to those guys. They're really great. Talking to Rick and Jim. But thank you once again. We can't say it enough, but thank you for coming on and talking to us.
All right, thanks, BB, and I also want to thank Rick and Jim for coming on the podcast, and you guys, thanks for putting out new music. We're really digging the new album. We enjoy it, and all you guys out there, get out there and check out their new album. It's called Grind, and you can get it anywhere you can buy music or listen to music. And we will sign off the air for now, and we will see you next time, and there will be a next time.